The Aeolian Islands, meanwhile, emerge from the sea, often laden with lava. Stromboli, for example, erupts every 20 minutes, creating light shows in the night. Moreover, at Agrigento we find the Valley of Temples, while in Taormina there's the Greek theater overlooking the sea. Sardinia is a must for lovers of sea and nature, hiding idyllic beaches among pink granite rocks. The Maddalena archipelago offers a maze of islands and channels, while the Emerald Coast is renowned for luxury and some of the clearest waters in Europe. Not to be missed are also the beaches of Cala Luna and Cala Goloritse, true natural paradises, accessible only by sea or through scenic paths, where the intense blue of the sea merges with pure white limestone walls. May, June, and September transform these islands into true paradises, with the sea maintaining perfect temperatures for swimming, while the land offers colors and fragrances of the Mediterranean scrub in bloom.
How much would it cost to publish your book, translate it into your readers' native languages, and deliver it all across the globe?
Lofoten Islands, Norway. The boundary between land and sea dissolves in the Lofoten Islands. This archipelago emerges from the Arctic Ocean like an idyllic landscape. Fishing villages with their red houses on stilts dot the coast. The sun here has no rules. In summer, it never sets, creating endless days, while in winter it disappears below the horizon, giving way to the northern lights. Fishermen pursue cod migrating in frigid waters, moving through many mountains that plunge directly into the sea. In protected bays, whales rest during their migration, and sea eagles soar over fjords. The ideal season for exploring Lofoten shifts with your interests. Summer days welcome hikers to endless trails, while winter transforms the islands into a photographer's dream under blankets of snow.
Yeah, this is beautiful country, man. Countrywide. Yeah, beautiful, man. Thank you guys for taking a tour.
Swiss Alps.
What's going on the water? And thank you to see my channel, all of Salada TV.
A natural barrier touching the sky, with the addition of the Matterhorn rising in solitude. In this landscape of rare beauty, we find Zermatt, a village that lives without cars, where only the sound of footsteps in the snow breaks the silence.
Very, very like, very like, full country. something like that. But if you, I like to leave the place like that because it's
The Red Bernina train climbs through
so
landscapes
like
that defy gravity, connecting isolated valleys through tunnels and viaducts.
like an air, yeah, different air and then style, people like that.
Grindelwald hides beneath the Eiger, its north face having challenged generations of mountaineers.
Everything is different, man. Much of the people.
Lakes Lucerne and Thun, meanwhile, reflect the mountains like mirrors, while steamboats transport travelers between medieval villages.
So look at this place over there. So
The castle of
we don't want to
Achijon
move there.
finally emerges from the waters of Lake Geneva, while Appenzell preserves centuries-old traditions among small houses and cow pastures. In Switzerland, July and August offer long days and mild climate. Snow retreats and mountain railways operate at full capacity, opening access to impossible views. Bavaria, Germany. Bavaria reveals a realm of castles hidden among the mountains.
My goals to
Neuschwanstein is undoubtedly the most well-known place in this area, and it was King Ludwig II who created this stone giant that inspired Walt Disney.
Thank you.
Munich, meanwhile, is known for the Glockenspiel in Marienplatz, a clock with mechanical figures that dance to the toll of bells. The residence hides treasures accumulated over 700 years of Wittelsbach reign, while the Deutsches Museum preserves machines that have changed the course of history.
Hi, I'm Burke, a small business insurance expert with Byberk.
What's a Byberk?
Byberk isn't a thing. Byberk is a web.
In a remote valley, we find Linderhof Castle, while the Romantic Road crosses some of the nation's most beautiful medieval villages. Rothenburg ob der Tauber preserves its intact walls, while Dinkelsbühl and Nördlingen offer squares where merchants have met for centuries. September is undoubtedly the ideal month to visit this region, with Oktoberfest transforming Munich and the sky taking on autumn colors.
Beautiful place, man. Let's take a tour. I'm saying in love.
Hallstatt, Austria. It's a true three-dimensional postcard. The wooden and stone houses climb up the mountain, creating a cascade of roofs that mirrors in the waters of the namesake lake. The Lutheran church's bell tower stands against the sky, becoming the focal point that has made this city Austria's most photographed subject. The historic center develops along a single narrow alley, with fishermen's and miners' houses featuring flowered balconies that jut out over the water. Boats cross the lake every hour, offering ever new perspectives of the village. In the evening, house lights reflect in the water, creating a spectacle that has inspired artists for generations. May brings spring to these mountains, with tourists not yet crowding the streets, allowing for calm exploration of the village.
Below the countries down there is beautiful.
Croatian islands. When we speak of Croatian islands, we mainly refer to Hvar and Korčula. Hvar is like an archive of maritime history, with Venetian walls protecting the harbor from the sea's fury.
Croatian. That's a Croatian island.
The Spanish fortress dominates the city from above, while vineyards climb the terraced slopes. Hidden bays reveal Roman ruins, but there are also Benedictine monasteries preserving ancient manuscripts. Korčula, meanwhile, has walls shaped like a fishbone. St. Mark's Cathedral soars among stone houses, while streets are designed to protect inhabitants from the winter bura wind. Among the alleys hides Marco Polo's birthplace, and traditional Moresca dances echo in the squares. July is the perfect period to explore these islands, with the maestral wind cooling the days and the sea reaching ideal temperatures.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want.
Greek islands. A visit to Europe wouldn't be complete without a tour of the Greek islands, primarily the Cyclades and Ionian Islands. Santorini is witness to a volcanic apocalypse, with white and blue houses clinging to the caldera walls, where the sea bathes the crater of a volcano that changed Mediterranean history.
Very beautiful, very nice place, guys. So, this place.
Akrotiri preserves a Minoan city buried by ash, frozen in time like Pompeii. Mykonos, meanwhile, has windmills dominating the port, Little Venice jutting over the water, and countless bars and beach clubs partying until dawn. Corfu, moreover, offers some of the most beautiful beaches and waters in all of Greece. Crete, finally, hides the Minotaur's Labyrinth, the Samaria Gorge, and Elefonices beaches with pink sand. September transforms these islands into true paradises. Summer crowds diminish, the sea retains summer's warmth, while the wind calms, allowing for peaceful navigation between islands. Algarve Coast, Portugal. The Algarve reveals itself through stone arches carved by the ocean. Ponta da Piedade cuts into the Atlantic, with rock formations and sea caves that open in the rock walls, accessible only by sea. Lagos preserves its Moorish period walls, and the port fills with fishing boats returning at dawn. Sagres guards the fort, which juts over the ocean from a promontory that defies the waves. Tides reveal and hide beaches that nestle among the rocks. May and September offer the ideal climate
Yo,
for
what's going on,
exploring this
chat?
coast,
Just follow
with the
my
ocean
page, you know what I'm
calming,
saying?
allowing
Tiger
access to sea
Salada
caves and
TV,
pleasant
Salada
temperatures
TV.
for excursions.
Follow my page. I'm just showing the country tour, and then I'm going for. I'm just started the stream, you know. I know there's not a lot of people in here, but anyways, if you guys can follow my page, I don't want the copyrights for this video. So, anyways, I like to do the country tour in video to see what's going on, what people like, you know what I'm saying, and then that's it. I like it.
Amalfi Coast, Italy. The Amalfi Coast follows State Road 163, a scenic route winding through cliffs, bays, and villages overlooking the sea. Positano clings to the mountain with houses that seem to defy gravity. Stairs replace streets, creating a vertical labyrinth that leads from the sea up to the hilltop vineyards. Amalfi, meanwhile, hides its maritime republic past behind the cathedral's facade, while its narrow alleys climb among lemon groves and ancient noble palaces. Ravello rises above the clouds. Villa Ruffolo and Villa Cimbrone offer terraces suspended over the void, and the cathedral blends Eastern and Western styles. The Path of the Gods crosses the coast between sky and sea, revealing idyllic panoramas and lemon groves climbing terraced slopes, supported by dry stone walls built centuries ago. April and October are ideal for visiting this place. The climate allows for long walks while tourists decrease, leaving space to explore the alleys and savor the local rhythm of life.
Do not pay your next car insurance bill. Repeat, do not pay your bill yet.
So I found this website and
Barcelona, Spain. When thinking of Spain, the sea, and nightlife, one cannot help but think of Barcelona, a city that blends history and modernity. La Barceloneta offers a perfect beach for morning relaxation, where restaurants still serve fresh fish from local fishermen. La Rambla, meanwhile, runs through the city center, where century-old plane trees provide shade for street artists and pedestrians. Then there's the Sagrada Familia, still unfinished, which has been reaching toward the sky for more than a century, with its towers featuring unique architecture unlike anywhere else in the world. The Boqueria market is an explosion of life. Under its iron vaults, stalls showcase the richness of Catalan gastronomy, with fruits, jamón ibérico, and fresh fish. The Gothic quarter, with its alleys and squares, preserves the medieval soul of the city. Here, merchants and sailors once lived. There are also several houses designed by Gaudí, which are true works of art, such as Casa Batlló and Casa Milà. And then there's Park Güell, perched on a hill, offering a view of the city and the sea. Its mosaic-covered benches and the structures within create a space where nature and art meet. But what's the ideal time to visit this city? Definitely from April to June, or from September to October, when the weather's
Nice
perfect
city,
for
man.
exploring the
I
city.
love enjoying this city. Please follow me, comments, leave the like, I like it. Please, comments.
Norwegian fjords. The fjords cut into the Norwegian coast like scars left by glaciers that shaped this territory. Geiranger Fjord penetrates inland for 15 kilometers, with the Seven Sisters waterfalls plunging from vertical walls. Narroy Fjord, meanwhile, narrows between rock walls that rise 1,700 meters, and ships look like ants in this marine canyon. Villages cling to every patch of land, reachable only by sea or through paths carved into rock. Finally, there is Sognefjord, the king of fjords, extending 204 kilometers inland. And here we also find Viking wooden churches that resist time. July offers 20 hours of daylight to explore these landscapes, and the midnight sun transforms the sky into a spectacle of colors reflected in calm waters. Isle of Skye, Scotland. Skye emerges from the Scottish Sea as a blend of rock and water. The Old Man of Storr stands solitary on the coast, a basalt pinnacle that defies gravity. The Quairang reveals a lunar landscape created by ancient landslides, where the Earth continues to move beneath tourists' feet.
I could say objectives like, go grab the latest stock price of NVIDIA, then look back 5 years and find the total.
The fairy pools, meanwhile, descend from the Black Quillins in a series of waterfalls and natural pools, while Dunvegan Castle guards the fairy flag, a legendary banner for this nation. Then there's Neist Point, a lighthouse that extends into the ocean, withstanding storms, while the cliffs host colonies of puffins. May brings longer days and less rain. The heather blooms, and clouds create plays of light that transform the landscape. Transylvania, Romania.
Pennsylvania. Hear that?
In the heart of the Carpathians, Transylvania preserves a world forgotten by time. Bran Castle emerges from the forest, and its towers project against the sky. Dracula never inhabited these walls, but vampire legends permeate every stone of the fortress.
Pennsylvania. They used to have that shit for real?
The village of Viscry preserves houses built by Saxons in the 12th century, and the fortified church dominates the village, with walls that have protected inhabitants from invasions for centuries. Sigashora keeps the medieval period alive in its citadel. The clock tower has been marking time for 700 years, and in the house at 6 Kositora Street, Vlad the Impaler, the prince who inspired the very myth of Dracula, was born. Finally, the Rashnov fortress dominates the valley from a hilltop, with a 143-meter well carved into solid rock, telling the story of 2 Turkish prisoners who took 17 years to complete it. October transforms Transylvania into a realm of mists and colors. Leaves create a carpet in the woods, while temperatures allow for long explorations of villages and castles. Faroe Islands, Denmark. The Atlantic Ocean has sculpted these islands for millions of years, creating vertical walls that plunge into the sea. Sheep graze on grass-covered fields, while the village of Saxon hides in a valley that was once a fjord. The tide transforms the landscape twice daily, revealing and hiding ancient pasts. Lake Servaxvaten appears to float above the ocean, but it's just an optical illusion created by the particular formation of the cliff. Moreover, the Mulafosur waterfall plunges directly into the ocean, while villages like Gassadalur, accessible only through tunnels carved into the mountain, count just a few dozen inhabitants.
How do you give your book the best chance to succeed in 2025? If you've written a book and you're thinking about publishing it, you have to watch this video. Hi, I'm Sarah from Spines, the fastest growing publishing platform in the United States. If you want to give your book the best shot at success, there are a few things you need to know. The world has changed, and back in the day, most book consumption was in print. But today, that is not the case anymore. Now, only a small fraction of books are sold in print, while the vast majority are either in digital or audiobooks, close to 40%. And yet, the overwhelming majority of authors don't even produce an audiobook version of their book. Most authors publish their book on Amazon alone, but we know there are nearly 100 additional distribution channels where you should be sharing your book. At Spines, we distribute across 100 different channels in print, digital, and audio formats, using the most advanced technology and top-tier professionals, all at a price that is unbeatable. Want to publish your book? Want to hear more details? Leave your info and we will reach out with a phone call to share all of the information right away. Stay tuned.
June brings the midnight sun, and days stretch to 20 hours, providing a light that creates the best time to visit these lands. Cappadocia, Turkey. Cappadocia appears like a landscape from another planet. Time and elements have sculpted the volcanic rock, creating thousands of fairy chimneys. These rock formations hide underground cities, extending 8 levels below the surface, which were refugees for entire populations during invasions. The city of Göreme has churches carved into rock, with Byzantine frescoes covering the walls, their colors preserved for centuries by darkness. Uchishar, meanwhile, dominates the region with its natural fortress and features numerous houses that merge with the stone. At dawn, hundreds of hot air balloons rise into Cappadocia's sky, revealing a lunar landscape of valleys and canyons. September brings the best temperatures here, with clear skies and no rain, allowing for exploring the valleys on foot and observing the stars. Lake Como, Italy. Lake Como winds between northern Italy's mountains like an inverted Y, with historic villas mirroring in its waters. Villa Balbianello emerges on a promontory, its loggias opening to the lake from every angle, and terraced gardens descending to the water. Bellagio rises at the point where the lake divides into two branches. Stone streets climb toward the promontory's peak, where Villa Cerbaloni's gardens preserve plants from every continent. The village of Varenna, meanwhile, maintains its character as a fishing village, with houses facing the lake. The funicular climbs to 700 meters, revealing panoramas stretching to the Alps. April and May transform the lake into a theater of colors, with gardens bursting into bloom, while temperatures allow for walks along paths connecting the villages. Canary Islands, Spain. Off the African coast, the Canaries emerge from the Atlantic, like fragments of a primordial world. Lanzarote shows craters and lava fields, where life finds its way between volcanic rocks. Timanfaya National Park reveals a Martian landscape, while the mountains of fire have shaped the island with their eruptions. Tenerife, meanwhile, rises from the sea with Mount Tide, Spain's highest volcano. Night transforms the mountain into a natural observatory, while La Orotava preserves botanical gardens where endemic species have survived for millions of years. Gran Canaria hides sand dunes that seem transported from the Sahara, offering magnificent landscapes for hiking and trekking. Continuing, La Gomera preserves a prehistoric forest in Garajonay National Park, and its inhabitants still practice an ancient whistled language that crosses valleys. Fuerteventura, finally, reveals beaches extending for kilometers, and its name derives from the constant wind that shapes its landscape. March and April certainly offer the perfect climate to explore these islands, with the wind calming down and subtropical temperatures allowing for swimming in ocean waters.
And then, Muito massa.
Iceland. In the north of the Atlantic Ocean, right where two great plates of Earth meet, an enormous natural laboratory emerges, with ice and volcanoes in the background. Speaking of ice, Vatnajökull is Europe's largest glacier, dominating the island's panorama.
Please comment and like the video.
Beneath its icy surface,
new here,
active
I'm just
volcanoes create incredible ice caves that transform each summer, while the frigid water of rivers has carved deep canyons. The capital, Reykjavik, is a unique city, harnessing Earth's natural heat. Its houses are heated by hot water that naturally springs from underground, and often you can see the steam from thermal pools mixing with the northern lights in the sky. Lake Mavaten, meanwhile, offers a scenario reminiscent of the lunar surface. Solidified lava has created strange shapes, and sulfur-scented vapors emerge from the ground.
Pô, eles marcam olho, mano. Opa.
The fjords in the western part of the island are like enormous inlets that penetrate the coast. On their cliffs live millions of puffins, while in the deep waters swim orcas. July offers the midnight sun in temperatures that allow for exploring the island. The interior roads open, giving access to the highlands where the Vikings' feared spirits dwelled.
Please subscribe and then like the channel and then
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44. This is a first look at the current industry-leading AI app builder. And you wouldn't believe the kind of apps that people are creating. Smart nutrition apps, inventory trackers, onboarding tools.
Lake Ohrid, North Macedonia. Lake Ohrid preserves over 200 endemic species from more than 1 million years ago. Troutfish swim in the same waters where their ancestors moved during the Ice Age. The city of Ohrid climbs the hill with 365 churches, one for each day of the year, while St. Caneo juts out on a promontory with domes reflecting in the lake.
these guys share my page, Salada TV. So
Fishing villages preserve ancient techniques, and life still revolves around net fishing. June is the perfect month to visit the area, with the Ohrid Festival resonating with classical music and squares filling with art and culture.
Love culture, man. Culture's the best thing.
Malta. This archipelago emerges from the Mediterranean, laden with history, directly carved into limestone. Valletta, the capital, contains Knights of Malta palaces on every street. The co-cathedral hides artworks under gold-decorated vaults, while Forts St. Elmo and St. Angelo protect the harbor, as they did during the Ottoman siege of 1565. Medina, called the Silent City, reveals alleys where time stayed in the medieval period. Gozo, moreover, guards the Gantija temple, older than the pyramids.
What is this? It's under.
April and May transform the archipelago into a garden, with fields covering themselves in wildflowers, while the sea warms enough to explore marine caves. Rhine Valley, Germany. The Rhine has cut through German territory for millennia, and the river flows between numerous castles that emerge from morning mist, ready to tell centuries of stories and legends. Marksburg stands intact since 1117, the only Rhine fortress that never suffered destruction. The Lorelei, a 132-meter rock, juts out at the river's narrowest point. Pfalzgrafenstein Castle, meanwhile, rises on an island in the middle of the river, an ancient customs house used to collect tolls. Continuing, Bacharach preserves 15th-century half-timbered houses and also maintains Werner's Chapel, which was never completed. Finally, we find Oberwessel, which keeps its medieval walls intact with 16 watchtowers.
This machine could change t-shirt printing forever. I printed this t-shirt with the back neck label, sleeve hit, an awesome chest graphic, hang tag, and I printed the box with this mystery machine right here. And the video starts right now.
I know a thing or two about DTF printers. They're awesome, but they're not perfect. There's mess, maintenance.
September transforms the valley into a mosaic of colors. Vineyards on the slopes turn golden, while mild climate allows for river cruises and walks between villages. Albanian coast. a hidden paradise where mountains plunge into clear sea. The Albanian coast is a collection of pristine beaches and coves hidden between majestic cliffs and accessible only by sea. The turquoise waters of Samil embrace small islands emerging from the sea, creating a small tropical paradise where the water is crystal clear and often calm. At Butrint, the UNESCO site has 2,500 years of history, with the Greek theater reflecting in the lagoon's calm waters, while ancient mosaics and Venetian walls meet. The village of Himara, meanwhile, sits on the mountain, characterized by narrow alleys where village elders still speak an ancient dialect. June reveals this coast's best face, with the sea warming just right for swimming, while mountains offer coolness and paths to explore untouched national parks.
Joga outra, depois ver o certo.
Provence, France. Imagine walking through endless lavender fields, coloring the landscape purple. This is Provence's magic, where every corner seems painted by an artist. Here, hidden among flowers, lies the ancient Senanque Abbey, where monks still keep 8th-century-old traditions alive today. Climbing the hills, there's also Les Baux de Provence, a village perched on rock that seems to emerge from a medieval fairy tale. Its ancient castle will surely bring to mind tales of knights. Here one must visit Roussillon, a unique village where everything is colored red. Houses, streets, and rocks are tinted in different shades thanks to ochre, a mineral that has made this place truly special. Nearby, the village of Gourds climbs the hill with spiral streets, just as they were created hundreds of years ago. The best time to visit these places? July, when lavender blooms and wind carries summer Provence's scents, giving perfect light to every view, just like in Impressionist paintings.
Do not pay your next car insurance bill. Repeat, do not pay your next bill yet. So I found this website and look at the difference, you guys. $233 a month. And I thought that this was the best they could do. Don't even look anywhere else. This is the best price, right? Wrong. Now look at my new price. $50 a month for 2 cars. And I'm even covered if they steal my cars. Plus, I didn't even have to deal with any annoying insurance agents. So many insurance companies do this, you guys. They push our rates up and make us pay even more. So if you want to try this website, I went ahead and put the link below. It took me like 2 minutes, super fast, and you guys gotta trust me on this. Just try it out.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
Valdorcia and Florence, Italy. Valdorcia is a true Renaissance painting. White roads wind between hills where cypress trees mark boundaries. The Vitaleta Chapel stands solitary, a reference point for many pilgrims since medieval times. Among the most beautiful villages, Pienza emerges from the valley like an ideal city experiment. Palazzo Piccolomini overlooks Valdorcia through a loggia that frames the landscape, while streets carry names of love and fortune, such as Love Street, Kiss Street, Fortune Street. Florence, meanwhile, preserves Renaissance genius in every street and palace. The Ponte Vecchio crosses the Arno, while Brunelleschi's dome rises in the sky, defying physics laws. May transforms Valdorcia into a spectacle of colors, with poppies dotting wheat fields, while temperatures allow long walks between art and nature.
Só como um processo de fazer os erros de debate. Esse livro. 3 jogos de baú para mim. Vou te mandar para nós anos, puta.
Bruges, Belgium. Bruges emerges from Flanders mists, with characteristic canals interweaving through the historic center, reflecting medieval houses unchanged for 500 years. Boats pass under stone bridges, where once Hanseatic League merchant ships sailed. The Belfort rises over the market square, its tower housing a carillon of 47 bells that play medieval melodies. The stone streets of the historic center wind through ancient red brick buildings, while hidden alleys reveal quiet courtyards and Gothic facades. December transforms Bruges into a winter realm. Christmas markets illuminate the squares, while the scent of chocolate wafts from artisan workshops. Tallinn, Estonia. Tallinn preserves Northern Europe's most complete medieval walls. The old city divides into upper and lower towns, connected by secret passages carved in the limestone.
How much would it cost to publish your book, translate it into your readers' native languages, and deliver it all across?
The Town Hall Square hosts Europe's oldest pharmacy, operating since 1422, while St. Olaf's Church conceals a tower that in 1500 was the world's tallest building. The Kalamaja Quarter reveals 19th century wooden houses transformed into cultural centers. Finally, Tumpi Castle walls protect the Estonian parliament, while bastions offer viewpoints called balconies. August brings white nights to the city, with the sun setting for just a few hours, while medieval music festivals fill streets with ancient melodies. Prague, Czech Republic. Prague is a stone book written across 5 centuries of history. The castle dominates the city from the hill, the world's largest complex with its adjoining courtyards and gardens. Another important monument is St. Vitus Cathedral, which hides the Bohemian crown in a room locked with 7 keys. Charles Bridge, meanwhile, crosses the Vltava on 16 arches. Saint statues have watched over passers-by since 1357, witnessing processions, battles, and revolutions. The astronomical clock in Old Town Square has marked time since 1410, with mechanical figures dancing every hour. Finally, the Jewish Quarter preserves 6 synagogues, while Golden Lane hosts tiny houses where alchemists sought to turn lead into gold. In May, music fills churches and palaces with the Spring Festival, while gardens awaken after winter hibernation. Edinburgh, Scotland. Edinburgh divides into 2 souls, the medieval Old Town and Georgian New Town. The castle juts from volcanic rock, guardian of the Stone of Destiny on which Scottish kings were crowned. Its underground conceals a buried city where people lived in the 17th century. The Royal Mile descends from the castle, and along the way lies St. Giles's Cathedral, a historic site linked to Scotland's knightly order. Arthur's Seat, an extinct volcano, dominates the city, while Victoria Street, with its colorful shops and curved facades, is considered one of Scotland's most picturesque streets. August transforms Edinburgh into the world's largest art festival, its streets filling with artists and performers, while fireworks illuminate the castle every evening.
Low on funds, bad credit. NCG got payment plans, don't sweat it. Hit us up for a game in peace.
Krakow, Poland. Krakow preserves Poland's medieval soul. Wawel Castle rises on the hill as the center of Polish power, while the cathedral guards the king's tombs. The market square, meanwhile, is Europe's largest medieval square, where merchant stalls alternate with historic cafes and street musicians. St. Mary's Church soars with towers of different heights, and the Jewish quarter of Kazimierz pulses with life. Here, synagogues alternate with cafes serving traditional Polish dumplings. May brings the Jewish Culture Festival, with klezmer music filling the streets and courtyards transforming into art galleries. Kotor, Montenegro. Kotor hides at the end of a fjord in the Bay of Kotor. Venetian walls climb the mountain for 4 kilometers, with 1,350 steps leading to St. John's Fortress. The Old Town reveals a labyrinth of squares and alleys, with St. Tryphon's Cathedral and the Maritime Museum as must-visit sites. Cats reign supreme in the streets, while Orthodox and Catholic churches alternate in a confined space, witnessing the coexistence of different cultures. September typically brings mild weather and less crowded cruises, while mountains protect the bay from winds, creating perfect conditions to explore this Mediterranean corner. Rome, Italy. A 3,000-year-old city called the Eternal City. Rome preserves traces of every historical epoch, thanks to the Roman Empire that ruled here for 5 centuries. The Colosseum rises in the city's heart. The amphitheater hosted 50,000 spectators, and its stones now show signs of time. The Roman Forum, meanwhile, occupies a valley between 7 hills, with ancient temples and marble columns, recalling its ancient history. And then there's Piazza Navona, maintaining the shape of the Roman Stadium, and the Trevi Fountain, releasing 2.8 million cubic feet of water daily and receiving about $3,300 in coins from tourists. Obviously, the proceeds go to charity.
Creators, I built these 3 apps to run my business just using prompts with Base 44. Let's talk productivity. As a one-man show, I have to handle everything myself, so
Moving on, even Vatican City unfolds at the heart of Rome. Here, St. Peter's Basilica can hold up to 60,000 worshippers, while the Sistine Chapel safeguards Michelangelo's priceless frescoes. Roman restaurants occupy every alley of the center, with typical kitchens preparing pasta alla carbonara or cacio e pepe.
That's crazy. It's not good. Beautiful country, man.
Vienna, Austria.
Beautiful, very beautiful country, man. You deserve Hungary.
From the Danube's mist emerges a city where music dictates the rhythm of daily life. Vienna isn't told, it's listened to. Violin sounds escape from music academy windows, while in historic cafes, the aroma of strudel mingles with modern philosophers' discussions. Schönbrunn Palace guards imperial secrets, while St. Stephen's Cathedral soars in the heart of the city with its colorful tiled roof. The city streets are both beautiful and imposing, and the historic squares are lively and filled with shops where one can browse or take a horse-drawn carriage ride. Winter from December to February transforms Vienna into a magical stage. Christmas markets illuminate squares, snow blankets palaces, and ballrooms fill for the waltz. During this season, the city reveals its true nature as an imperial capital. Copenhagen, Denmark. The Danish capital is rich with canals that don't separate, but unite. These cross the city like veins, bringing life to every corner. Bicycles outnumber cars, creating an urban characteristic. In Nyhavn harbor stand sailors' houses, and Hans Christian Andersen wrote his fairy tales in these streets, where today fishermen sell fresh fish directly from boats. The Tivoli Gardens must certainly be visited. But even while walking, it's easy to be enchanted by furniture workshops and ceramic shops. From May to September, Copenhagen reveals its splendor. The sun illuminates streets until late evening, outdoor cafes fill with life, and gardens explode with colors. Porto, Portugal. Between the banks of the Douro River lies a city that instantly captures the hearts of its visitors.
Portugal, Porto.
If you need to record anything over the internet, I cannot think of a more seamless way than Riverside to do it. We're now having
The scent of the sea mingles with that of wine resting in the city's cellars, and fishing boats depart at dawn among flocks of seagulls. Vila Nova de Gaia's cellars guard Porto wine, while houses climb the hills, creating a mosaic of red roofs. São Bento Station must be visited for its rich azulejos, the characteristic Portuguese tiles, while in the taverns of the Ribeira Quarter, codfish reign supreme.
Okay, that's the I think Ribeira, Madeira, something like that. That's a beautiful place right there. So Portugal, if you want to visit Portugal, go right ahead, man, because that's a beautiful place to visit. You know, so like countrywide. You know what I'm saying? And then that's it. Uh, let me see. That's a countrywide. You know what I'm saying? It's a very beautiful country. You know, yeah. So nice country, man. Very beautiful. And then they got you know, everything around there is good. So yeah. So you know, so it's a beautiful place to be. You know, I like it. I like it because it's a good place to be. You know, um Portugal, man. Portugal is a beautiful place to visit. So you should visit over there because, you know, I like it. I like the people. So, you know, it's very nice.
From September to October, the city offers its best face, with weather permitting long explorations and harvest filling the streets with celebration. Stockholm, Sweden. Stockholm is actually an archipelago. Every canal has a different story. Every bridge unites one century to the next. Viking ships rest in museums, while modern ferries weave a network of connections between the islands themselves. In the Södermalm Quarter, meanwhile, old warehouses transform into spaces where Scandinavian design sets new rules. Moreover, the stone-paved streets of Gamla Stan.
That's the I don't know what city is that, but it looked like Portugal around the road. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be around the Portugal area.
The medieval heart of the city, wind between ochre and amber-colored buildings, leading to charming squares.
This is Grand RP, your new life in GTA 5. Here, you will find everything you need for full immersion. Here's a unique economy where you can build your own businesses, buy cool cars, exchange them, earning on interest, pick fancy looks for your character, and decorate it with unique accessories. Immerse yourself in the crafting system where each player can create something really unique. Need a new backpack? Done. Or maybe a car? No problem. Start playing today and check everything out for yourself. Registration link with bonuses is waiting for you in the description, or use it by tapping on screen.
Today I'm going to make a beat. We're going to Output's new plugin co-producer, play your beat. It's going to analyze it. You put in the key, G minor, and then describe what we want. Funky electric organ. And based off your audio, it's going to give you samples that fit perfectly with it. Absolute lifesaver. Let's take a listen to some. Yes. Drag it in. We need like...
In summer, between June and August, the sun barely sets, gifting endless days. Parks fill with life, outdoor cafes thrive, and the archipelago invites exploration. Ghent, Belgium. In the heart of Flanders, Ghent holds a secret. During medieval times, it was larger than Paris and London. The Count's castle stands on water, and within its walls, Europe's largest collection of torture instruments tells stories that few know. Ghent's canals form a network of waterways right in the medieval heart of the city. 3 rivers meet here, creating historic navigable routes where old merchant houses reflect in the water. Their facades preserve the typical Flemish style, while 3 medieval towers dominate these waterways: St. Bavo's Cathedral, St. Nicholas Church, and the Belfry. The best time to visit Ghent is September, when temperatures are mild and the city hosts Ode Gan, a music festival that transforms the canals into floating stages.
Let's go chat, like the video, and then subscribe, show some love and comments or reply back. And then Any question, I'll be able to answer. That's a beautiful. That's a beautiful view right there. So it's a beautiful thing around those area. So it's nice. Very nice place. Very nice place. Very nice country. So take a tour with me, huh?
Budapest, Hungary. A city divided by a river, but united by bridges. The Danube flows undaunted, and at night bridge lights create constellations on the water, while boats connect Buda and Pest. Beneath the city, a labyrinth of caves conceals thermal lakes, with thermal baths being a common attraction here. Parliament rises on the riverbank like a cathedral of democracy, its spires touching the sky while foundations sink into the river. From March to May, Budapest presents itself at its optimal moment. Temperatures allow for exploring Buda's hills without strain, gardens awaken, and outdoor thermal baths become an unmissable experience. London, United Kingdom. The Thames is this city's heart, flowing since its creation. London never sleeps, rather it pulses through underground tunnels and century-old streets. Big Ben marks universal time, while ravens fly up and down the Tower of London.
How do you give your book the best chance to succeed in 2025? If you've written a book and you're thinking about publishing it,
In Borough Market, world flavors meet under Victorian vaults, while pubs offer fish and chips, as well as 5 o'clock tea. Morning fog reveals a different city each day. St. James's Park squirrels govern their realm in the metropolis's heart, indifferent to surrounding royal palaces. From May to September, London opens to tourists. Parks become living rooms, festivals animate streets, and occasional rains don't stop the city's rhythm. Plitvice, Croatia. A system of interconnected water mirrors, where water reigns supreme. 16 lakes fed by waterfalls create a natural staircase descending through the forest. Limestone dissolved in water builds new barriers daily, while beneath the surface, trout swim among submerged logs and aquatic vegetation. Wooden paths float on water, allowing visitors to walk across. Caves hidden behind waterfalls explain why bears and wolves still inhabit surrounding forests today. From April to June, or September to October, Plitvice reveals its essence. During these months, moderate temperatures and reduced rainfall allow for easy trail exploration, and waterfalls maintain their vigor. Salzburg, Austria. Among the Alps lies a city that breathes music. Mozart's melodies still resound among Baroque palaces, while cathedral bells mark time. Hohensalzburg Fortress towers over the city from above. In the markets, meanwhile, the aroma of strudel mingles with the notes of street musicians. Master chocolatiers' shops produce famous filled chocolates, while in monastery breweries, monks continue producing with ancient recipes. From June to August, Salzburg transforms with the Classical Music Festival. Mild climate allows for exploring medieval alleys and Baroque gardens, while outdoor concerts fill squares with melodies. Madrid and Toledo, Spain. Two cities united by an invisible thread of history. Madrid pulses in the present, while Toledo guards the past. The capital is characterized by markets awakening at dawn and squares that never sleep.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code.
Bluetooth
This is Base 44. This is a first look at the current industry-leading AI app builder, and you wouldn't believe the kind of apps that people are creating.
The Prado Museum guards Spanish art secrets, while the Royal Palace tells stories of empire and power. Half an hour away, Toledo seems suspended in time. The three cultures, Christian, Muslim, and Jewish, have left their mark in every corner of the city. The cathedral hides treasures, while synagogues and mosques were places of coexistence. In Madrid's San Miguel market, jamon and olives reign undisturbed, while in Toledo, marzipan keeps medieval recipes alive. Spring offers the perfect moment to visit both cities without summer heat's burden and with Holy Week processions filling streets with tradition.
Salada.
Dolomites, Italy. True stone giants set in northern Italy. The Tre Cime di Lavaredo Massifs mark the boundary between earth and sky, while high-altitude meadows hide turquoise lakes. In winter, snow transforms mountains into an ice realm. Skiers trace lines on snow, while in summer, trails reveal valleys hosting dozens of marmots. Mountain rocks turn pink at sunset, while mountain huts produce cheese and offer shelter among clouds.
Questa salada qui. Oh no.
The Dolomites offer two ideal visiting seasons: summer for hiking and climbing, while winter for winter sports enthusiasts, with guaranteed snow and slopes for everyone. Paris, France. The city of love can never be missed. When
Será
visiting
os
Europe,
gostos?
the Eiffel Tower pierces clouds, while the Seine divides and unites the city as it has
Será
for
os
centuries.
gostos?
Catacombs beneath the city hide stories of plague and revolution, while above, Notre Dame Cathedral has risen from ashes. The Louvre guards treasures of lost civilizations, and Montmartre maintains its village spirit. Boulangeries, moreover, fill streets with the aroma of freshly baked baguettes, a classic symbol of this city. From April to June, or September to October, gardens explode with life, and Paris reveals its essence. Lisbon, Portugal. The city of seven hills tells its story through fado, the traditional melancholic music. Singers' voices spread from Alfama's venues, while yellow trams labor up hills, carrying stories between neighborhoods. Geronimo's monastery guards tombs of kings who dreamed of empires beyond the horizon. And nearby, Belém Tower attracts numerous tourists. The city's stairs and alleys create a vertical labyrinth with azulejos on walls and miraduros horizontally overlooking the city. Spring or autumn offer ideal climate for exploring Lisbon, with moderate temperatures allowing for tackling climbs without excessive heat. Amsterdam, Netherlands. A city born from and on water, with canals creating a web that holds together the urban fabric. Houses lean forward, and bicycles outnumber inhabitants, creating a constant flow of wheels and bells. Bridges let past boats carrying goods, tourists, and stories. And then there's the flower market, floating on water for a lifetime. The Rijksmuseum and Van Gogh Museum must be visited, but hidden courtyards also offer moments of pure admiration and wonder. Tulips bloom in spring, temperatures rise, and outdoor cafes fill with life. This is the best time to visit Amsterdam. Lake Bled, Slovenia. A lake emerges among the Julian Alps, with an island floating at its center, crowned by a church. There's also a castle dominating the scene from a cliff, witness to centuries of history. Traditional boats called pletne glide on water, carrying tourists to the island, while beneath the surface, the lake hides thermal springs that keep water temperate. From June to September, the lake reveals its character, with paths around the lake inviting walks and nearby mountains taking on surreal colors.
Do not pay your next car insurance bill. Repeat, do not pay your next bill yet. So I found this website and look.
Cliffs of Moher, Ireland. The roar of the Atlantic crashes against a wall of rock, rising 214 meters above the sea. Here, on Ireland's wild west coast, the Cliffs of Moher have stood defiant against the ocean for 350 million years. Water has carved caves into their base. Wind has sculpted every layer of stone along their 8-kilometer stretch. And thousands of seabirds have made these towering cliffs their home. At the highest point, O'Brien's Tower, built in 1835, watches over the endless horizon. On clear days, the view reaches as far as the Aran Islands in the mountains of Connemara. Winding paths trace the cliff edge, while the rock shifts color with the passing hours. And legend even speaks of a sunken city hidden beneath the waves. The best time to visit? April to September. When the weather is calmer, the days are longer, and nature reveals itself in all its breathtaking beauty. Venice. In an Adriatic Sea lagoon rises a city built entirely on water. Venice develops across 118 islands and 177 canals that traverse the center. Bridges unite every corner of the city. The Rialto Bridge, for example, has crossed the Grand Canal since 1591, while the Bridge of Sighs connects the Ducal Palace to the prisons. St. Mark's Square occupies the city's lowest point. The Basilica displays 86,000 square feet of golden mosaics, and the bell tower reaches 322 feet in height. Gondolas have traversed the canals for centuries. Each weighs about 1,320 pounds. The Baccari, meanwhile, serve typical dishes from morning to evening. Spring or autumn offer the ideal moment to discover Venice, with mild temperatures and reduced tourist flow.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can. First up, let's talk about AI color themes. You can get any combos you want, bold and bright, minimalist and sleek, or something you didn't even think of. Just describe the vibe you want, or even use the colors of your logo, and let AI do its thing. Beautiful. Next up is the AI section created. This is great for those website essentials like a contact section or a place to subscribe. Now, I'm running a sale, so I punch in some details, and just like that, I have a promo section. Functional and beautiful. I love it. Now, for the AI text creator. I got some products that need description. So I type in some keywords, and there it is. I've got copy that lands. Now, let's see what the AI image creator can do. Sometimes you just want to spice up your visual game. Type your idea and watch it turn into a high-quality image in seconds. You can have some real fun with this. If you need to tweak something, just brush it over, write what you want, and there it is. I may not be an artist, but that's art. If you're ready to build something you love, head to Wix.
With all due respect, if you're still selling your magic cards using a typical buy list, you're doing way too much for way too little. Traditional buy listing is an absolute pain.
And when somebody says you're going somewhere, then you're like,
Why waste another summer not loving your body?
With Base 44, we turn that question into a successful business.
80 Summers is a premium swimwear brand made to help women feel good about themselves. We got an opportunity for a pop-up, and we needed a POS fast. Every system we looked at was too complex or didn't offer what we needed.
I spent one evening working on Base. By morning, we had a customized solution that actually worked. Looking at the customer, starting to approach the cashier, and then seeing it work.
Everything was selling out so fast, and Base made it possible.
Hey, carrots, you're gonna wake the baby. I gotta get to work.
This is important, sir. I think your $10 worth of popsicles can wait.
Ha! I make $200 a day, Fluff. 365 days a year since I was 12. And time is money. Hop along.
Please just look at the picture. You sold Mr. Otterton that popsicle, right? Do you know him?
I know everybody. And I also know that somewhere there's a toy store missing its stuffed animal. So why don't you get back to your box?
Fine. Then we'll have to do this the hard way.
Did you just boot my stroller?
Nicholas Wilde, you are under arrest.
For what? Hurting your feelings?
Felony tax evasion. Yeah, $200 a day, 365 days a year. Since you were 12, that's 2 decades, so times 20, which is 1,460,000, I think. I mean, I am just a dumb bunny, but we are good at multiplying. Anyway, according to your tax forms, you reported, let me see here, 0. Unfortunately, lying on a federal form is a punishable offense. 5 years jail time.
Well, it's my word against yours. $200 a day, Fluff. 365 days a year since I was 12.
Actually, it's your word against yours. And if you want this pen, you're going to help me find this poor missing otter, or the only place you'll be selling popsicles is the prison cafeteria. It's called a hustle, sweetheart.
She hustled you. She hustled you good. You a cop now, Nick. You gonna need one of these. Have fun working with the fuzz.
Start talking.
I don't know where he is. I only saw where he went.
Great, let's go.
EVE Online is a vast universe, alive with the unrelenting activity and combined history of its players. Pursuing lives of adventure, warfare, and prosperity, they share this existence in the biggest single shard, free-to-play MMO of all time. Set 21,000 years in the future, EVE takes place in a distant cluster of over 7,000 star systems known as New Eden. It is a rich and diverse universe featuring densely populated havens of relative safety governed by 4 great empires. Hostile systems where player alliances make the rules. Even regions of anomalous and unexplored space that hold their own secrets. You play as a capsuleer, a revered breed of highly trained pilot, having achieved immortality through the use of cloning technology. You navigate the universe encased in an armored capsule deep within your ship, where you have complete neural control and function as one. There are hundreds of ships to fly in EVE. Everything from small, nimble craft and versatile mid-range vessels to formidable warships and colossal freighters. Each has advantages and suited roles, but all are completely customizable as you decide how to equip and arm them. What you do in New Eden is entirely up to you. EVE's immense sandbox gives you the opportunity to choose between multiple professions and activities. The key to this unique customization of your playstyle is skill training. This is a passive process, and it continues whether you are in or out of game. As a new player, you can focus on one specific area in order to quickly reach the same level of specialization as a veteran. So be adventurous and explore new avenues of development for your character, as you can always change role and reinvent yourself if desired. If you want to fight, combat in EVE can involve solo missions against non-player adversaries, or small group skirmishes, while for some, it can even be the thrill of fleeting up with thousands of fellow pilots and battling over disputed territory. If you want to explore, then the discovery of uncharted space and ancient regions that promise riches, danger, and adventure await you. You can also engage in the business of prosperity, be it industry, mining, or even interstellar piracy. The beauty of life in New Eden is that all of these activities, and many more, can be done alone or with others. A unique in-game market, unprecedented in scale and degree of player control, is the beating heart of New Eden. Players are responsible for the manufacture of almost everything you can buy or sell. The gathering and refinement of resources, the building of ships, equipment, and even some space stations. EVE's players are core to how the universe is filled and how the economy thrives. Players in EVE can band together to form corporations where they can enrich their experience, learn new elements of gameplay, and share their wealth and goals. When these player-run corporations grow to become larger entities, they can merge with other corps to form alliances. Powerful alliances regularly compete for control and influence over large areas of space, waging wars and engaging in record-breaking battles. Even taking down well-defended, sprawling, player-built space stations. In the spirit of exploration and mystery, new content and experiences are constantly introduced into the universe, with over a decade of free expansions leading to continual development and evolution of gameplay. While every action and decision has consequences for the universe and its hundreds of thousands of players, the game remains very much about your unique adventure and story. A story that will forever be woven into the fabric of Eve.